Welcome back, friends. It's the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for, the channel you cheer for. It's season 5, new episodes. I'm T-Mar, the Street Shark.
And I'm your man, the OGEO. The real is back.
All right, and we're here, new episodes. So let's just get into it. This episode is about NBA kicks on court. It's a new season. You know, we mirror the NBA season. So now we just got to talk about, about 15, 20 games in. So what kicks are on court? Where are we going? What's hot? What's not? So OG, kick us off. Kicks on court, NBA style. Let's
Well,
go.
I'm going to go into what's not hot right now. And Shark, our era, it was about the Jays. And it's puzzling to me, given our era, that these just released. You don't see these on the court.
Olives.
These released over the summer. You don't see these on the court. And so
Playoff.
it's the era of retro Jays now that PJ Tucker now not getting. Is it now gone? Because I see a whole lot of other brands, but outside of Jordan signature athletes, one we would talk about who's just been signed, but Luka and Tatum, the era of just seeing retro Jays on the court, man, recent released or passes, I haven't seen it on the court that much this year compared to other brands, Shark. And I want to bring it to your attention because there is a former athlete, God bless his soul, RIP, that's holding down the earth right now on the NBA court. And it's obviously a new day.
Oh yeah, a new day is here. So again, kicks on court. It's all about the comfort. Maybe that's not why the retro Jordans are as popular as they used to be. No one wants to change out the insoles, and they're just not coming with the performance upgrades that some of the other other shoes have. But I love to see a Pro from Kobe. Again, a performance upgrade to a retro. And what do we have here? We got the Team Bank Lakers black and yellow with the purple colorway. All right, these came out at multiple retailers. All right, I actually got mine. I won a raffle from Foot Locker, which was rare. But you can walk into stores and find some of these, maybe some smaller sizes on the shelves. All right, but they had the Team Bank with the white and red, navy blue, as well. So just cool, shout out to go back to our Mama Forever, Kobe Bryant episodes, and we've just talked about the evolution of his business post, his untimely death, him and Gigi, and just shout out to Vanessa Bryant for holding Nike accountable, all right, and then extending their contract, and really diving into some of these releases so that they are available to a lot of people, especially, did a lot for the women's game as well. So not only the NBA, but some college basketball. But we're talking about NBA kicks on court, and we know that Kobe's, especially during the pandemic, where a lot of this wasn't even in stores, and we knew that it was a Kobe freeze by Nike. Everybody and their mama in the NBA was trying to rack up. They was blowing out the soles because they was taking out some of the old ones. But glad to see the Kobe 8 Protro back in a GR Team Bank. You're like, we're bringing back Team Banks? That's good for the sneaker culture. All right? You guys ignore Team Banks and until you couldn't have them. And now they're back. All right? So what else you got over there, OG? What you thinking about kicks on court for the NBA season?
No, man, it's good seeing the Kobe's, man. I see a lot of 5, 6, and 8s on the court, as you mentioned, man. And a shoe, design-wise, performance-wise, that's got my eye, man, is that Kyrie. That Kai one, man, from Anta, and that Purple Rains colorway that just came out. Just again, so material here. We are stickler for the details. We love the details. And that shoe on his foot, I don't care if it matches the Dallas Mavericks uniform or not. It looks absolutely awesome. I never knew a purple sole would do what it did when I first saw them things, but I was like, oh, that's odd. And looking at them joints on court, man, and seeing how he's performing again, he's doing well. I think Dallas is starting off a little bit slow, but what he's done with that brand and what he's done with that shoe, And again, how he tells the story with every colorway. Kicks on court, man. Kyrie, continue to do your thing, man, with the Purple Rains. Hopefully, I can get my hands on a pair because I missed out on my size and I have my little budget that I'm trying to get it and I ain't trying to pay over retail for them. So shout out to Kyrie with the Purple Rains, man.
Yeah, go back to some of our episodes that we talked about the Kyrie's, his business transition from Nike to Anta, and the position that he carries over there with his creative direction, and we unboxed one of his shoes too. So I'm not going to do it now, but you can check out the Kai one in some previous episodes. Recently told some fans that the Kai two is on the way, coming soon. All right, but one thing that we love to see is the expansion of the distribution of the anti-Kyries, all right, because now you're seeing them at Foot Locker, all right, at least you're seeing them online, all right. They're showing up at Fitness Line, they're showing up at Hibbett Sports now, okay. So more of the colorways that are releasing, but Soul Material told you this was coming. We told you a long time ago that the U.S. distribution, they were coming for this market, and Kyrie was the pivot point to break the doors open to common retailers, all right, that are not, and his collaborations with boutiques as well. Your sneaker politics and other brands down in the South, and corporate got him all of those where he has a certain distribution of at least 15 to 20 just boutique style indie retailers as well, that so you're getting different levels of distribution and for different sizes, and he got a takedown model as well. So he's got it together. Might see some collaborations with his fellow brand mate Klay Thompson now that they're together on the Dallas Mavericks. So kind of like when he collaborated with KD and had the KD hybrids. You might see some that type of action going on with their own twist. So I'll add another one since we were talking about Kobe too. Another Kobe-esque model that was popular last year, and then going into this year, you still see a lot of the Sabrina ones. She does have the Sabrina twos. Shout out, she won the WNBA championship. This is the Brooklyn's finest colorway. But this model very popular, all ages, great performance, and yeah, similar silhouette, height, everything Kobe inspired. He was also a mentor to her as well when she was coming up. So, University of Oregon Duck alumni, but a lot of NBA players are using the IDs and the custom version
Mm-hmm.
to make their own colorways of this particular shoe. So this is on the court again this season, still in waves. I still see more of these in the Sabrina twos, but I see a lot of sneaker free agents like our hometown Washington Wizards, Kyle Kuzma. That contract with Puma is up. So if anyone's been paying attention, he's been wearing a lot of Sabrina twos, the all black colorway to be exact, because we pay attention even to our home team sports over here. But yeah, so there's some other sneaker free agents. All right, so I'll pause on some show and tell, and let's talk about some more sneaker free agents. You see what I did there? All right. So OG, there's a new member of the Jordan brand. Talk to the people about
Yes, sir.
who
Yes,
who's
sir.
the
Drum
new
roll, please.
the
Drum
new
roll, please.
person.
The news has been released that Mr. Trey Young of the Atlanta Hawks has signed with Jordan Brand. So, again, the parallels, the comparisons, the contrasts of that draft when he was traded for Luca. Now, him and Luca are both Jordan Brand athletes, and it's been advertised, released in press releases that he will be modeling the Jordan 39 this season on the court. And we will see if a signature is on the horizon. They do have Tatum, they do have Luca, Zion, as we are familiar with as well. And shout outs and congrats to Trey Young. And we also know that his alma mater, Oklahoma, is a Jordan Brand school as well. So you're seeing the connection from professionals to collegiate, and I assume he probably got some grassroots things under his wing too, as far as giving back to the community. So congratulations to Trey Young, to Jordan Brand, and hopefully Atlanta with their number one overall pick. And getting back on track. They'll be back in the playoffs, and he'll be ready to be ice cold again because we had a season so ago where he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing with the team. Things just weren't adding up. So I'm hoping that this will inspire and encourage the team and him to get back to the playoffs and do what he's due because Trey is a monster and a beast, man. And for the size that he is and so forth, where he is gone, where the NBA has elevated to. Of course, Curry being an inspiration, but people didn't think that he was going to last past his freshman year at Oklahoma. He's gotten this far to not only being an NBA All Star, a superstar in a major city, but now having his own brand or being a part of one of the most legacy brands ever. I'm looking forward to his signature and see what goes on. But the Jordan 39, that's going to be Trey's shoe. Congrats to him.
Nice. Yeah. And somewhere in there, I might have made this up, but maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. But I want to believe that somewhere in there, there's a 60 degrees of separation that brought all that together. You mentioned some of the elements. I'm going to name a person. His name's Blake Griffin. He was on Jordan Brand. He went to University of Oklahoma before Trey Young. Maybe there was a phone call that said, "Oh, that contract's up. Come on down over here, and join the Jumpman crew." You know what I'm saying? So and that low top 39 looks like that's his style that he can rock with. So again, just adding our little sprinkle on top of that story. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but it sounds like something that's very possible in the universe. All right, so I think the only thing holding Trey Young back is the Hawks themselves, and if they're going to keep him or they're going to move him or what they're going to do long term. Because how are they really going to build around him, or are they going to use their draft picks and they're going to be the centerpiece and they're going to ship him around? He might be better served somewhere else if they can get more value for him, but he's been
Lakers.
holding it down. Yeah, anybody. Yeah, but yeah, might want to skate on over to the West Coast, see how that works out. But he's definitely been a consummate professional. And some of the pieces and everyone's healthy. Their record, is reason why he can't get in those All-Star games. But he's getting fan votes. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good time to keep that momentum for where he's going. So. Next, before we get to it, let's talk about another brand really quick. New face switching brands, and that would be off of an Olympic run. We have Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers. All right, he has switched now, has become a signature athlete for Puma. All right, and we learned that before the season started. And we'll talk about this. You'll hear about it in other episodes. We've talked about some of our favorite collaborators in past episodes. So once again, Puma, they know that he's not LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has a lot to say so in his brand, and we know it's for the kids and it ain't for everybody else, especially some of the newer models and the colorways that they're coming out with. But I think Puma, they wanted to go a different direction. They wanted to go with one of the best collaborators out there. And who did they get? They brought someone you never would have thought had anything to do with basketball. And I think that this is why it's going to work. All right. You got Salehi, Bember. All right. Mr. New Balance, Mr. Crocs, Mr. Juniper Crocs. Go back to our Crocs are cool episode. You know what I mean? We talked all about how he was one of the main influences that turned that whole ship around, and their stock is gone literally shot up just because of his influence. He created his own shoe at this point with them, and now he collaborates with so many different brands, luxury brands to performance brands, and he always knows how to tell a story. All right, so Puma has tapped into him, and he specifically will be working on Puma basketball, and he was assigned. So that first, he curated the promo video that had Halliburton's dad was in it and doing the voiceover and everything like that. Well, Salehi curated it. So he found time in between his own ventures to have embark a new one with Puma. So Emory Jones and all the crew over there, and they're continuing to collaborate, push the envelope, and then also understand they always have to keep innovating and speaking to a broader audience. And I think that was a good move. Sometimes people might think that was a lazy move because Salehi's all over the place, but he looks like someone who is strategic. He could be in more places, but he chooses not to. So he can have the time, attention to detail, get those
True.
materials, and then more importantly, the storytelling from beginning to end. That's what we like over here, and that's why we applaud that move. All right. So any comments from the OG on the Halliburton to Puma before we go to one more brand before we wrap up and talk about the three stripes and what's
Oh
going
man,
on the court?
he has done it all in all facets, in all spectrums. I expect this to work. I expect it to work well. And Halliburton, fresh off of that gold medal performance in the Olympics, shots fired. I'm looking forward to him doing what he's doing because Indiana really overachieved. And again, you talk about just image, branding, so forth, man. I'm excited about what he's going to bring to Puma because he has gone on the deep end, as people may say, and he has not lost yet. So his name holds some weight. And like you said, he had a choice, and his choice is Puma. So given that was his choice, I'm like, so what does he have in store? Because nothing he does is not methodical or strategic. He's not just out there to be out there. So um, shout out to the Indiana Pacers for possibly having something that's going to be out there for a small market that could really blow up for them, definitely.
And that might work because it's a small market, right? And then Halliburton, if you look, he's one of the NBA fit guys, you know what I'm saying? Just because he has his own style, that's whatever, however you feel about it. I'd rather see some more wild and crazy Salehi Pumas than, him and some wingtips or whatever he'd be doing, and some oversized clothes or whatever. So, but you got style, you got your swag for how you do it, you know what I mean? And it works for you and it's authentic to what to your brand and how you represent yourself. So we're not here to critique and say we wouldn't, because we wouldn't do it the same way. We're not supposed to. All right, you do it your way. We do it our way. You know what I'm saying? And we just like to see that a new type of revitalization, is revitalized the that type of collaboration. And I think with his personal style and then Salehi, his personal style, what his brand represents, I think that those two, if it was a different athlete, it may not make as much sense. All right. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure Salehi could figure it out, kind of like a Joey Fresh Goods and a Kawhi Leonard New Balance kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, that you don't have a choice to do that, but to do that collaboration. But it's always when there's a yin and a yang, it makes it fit a little bit better. And I just can't wait to see what that looks like. All right. So before we wrap up, let's get to the three stripes because we got to talk about another one of the major brands. All right. And I'm just gonna go with we running theme over here, the Anthony Edwards. All right. You've seen him on previous episodes. Did an whole unbox episode for the All Star Edition. All right, now I'm just showing you low top. Low top got that marbled look. All right, so we're getting the AE1s all the way through to at least All Star game again through this season. So they're riding the wave. Okay, and I'm not mad at them. So we don't even know what the two officially looks like yet. Still with the new season, Ant-Man playoff run, deep, boom, Olympic gold medal, key contributor. Got to work with his idols and play with them. And then you know what happens after that Olympic year. You know what I mean? That next season is turn up time. You all right? So he's already shooting better from three. They got a mixture of new players over in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So they're still finding their way a little bit. But Ant-Man, come on. AE1s on the court. I got no problems here. No problems. This marble color is pretty cool. All
No
right.
problem. That's definitely a neck breaker. And speaking of neck breakers, Sharp, looking at highlights on ESPN. Maybe it was my eyes because it was late at night and it was a West Coast game, but Adidas had the neck breaker for me for right now the first quarter of the season. I believe Jeremy Grant from the Portland Trailblazers was wearing a red suede Crazy Eight, and I was like, "What?" And I'm looking like, "Hold up, those Crazy Eights, they look like they red." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So shout outs to Jeremy Grant. Don't know if they're coming out, where he got those from, if he got them customized, what have you. But as far as me just looking at highlights, it's something that caught my eye. Going back to Adidas, yeah, that Crazy Eight is still catches my eye. So again, shout out, R.I.P. to Kobe, man. But seeing him in an all red Crazy Eight with the white stripes, it really raised my eyebrow. Post midnight around here, just getting my sports highlights in, definitely.
Oh yeah, and especially Adidas, you know, coming back to get some of those Kobe models, any of the crazy 8, 1s, 2s, whatever. Always all good, and great to see them repurposed, with different materials. And last but not least, before we go, excuse me, got one more signature shoe from Adidas. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you the box because sneaker boxes matter. All right. Couldn't get away without showing the box here because you know what time it is. It's Dame time. All right. We got the Dame 9. All right. Dame 9. He's on his ninth signature shoe already. And so, if anyone knows what this box is, you know this is not just a regular colorway. All right. Now, look a little closer. Do you see it? Do you see it? Boom. These two logos ring a bell, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. You got the bait, Dame 9s. And of course, there's a theme here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a friend of the podcast, frequent listener, you probably already know what colorway this is. But if you don't know, now you know. Camo. And what do we love at the Soul Material Podcast in particular? Gum soles. All right. Give us a gum sole on anything. And you have our attention. All right. You have our attention with the gum sole. So you give me camo with a black midsole or gum soles, red beans and gravy. I ain't too lazy. All right. This is what I need. All right. And you got a lace swap here. So we got the camo laces. And then there's a second set of just black laces as well. I actually kind of wanted a green set or a white set or something like that. Like 1/3 one. I'm nitpicking here. But they were actually a little heavier than I thought compared to other dames or whatever. But as soon as you slip your foot into this though, the way that it just slides like the sock, like it's not, I just want to show you it's not a tongue. You know what I mean? Like it's a Hirachi sock on the inside. You know what I mean? So it does give you some lockdown. I was a little scared of the way that the forefoot, but if you see the grooves in the side and in the way that the sole, it makes for a good natural articulation over here. So even though we got a leather right here on the toe box, on the court they stepping all over this stuff. But for a bait collaboration, embroidered. Oh, that's not embroidered. It's embossed on here. You know what I'm saying? And printed. Come on, rip stop underneath that rip stop mesh right here, and then on top of the leather. And this isn't like no cheap printed. Like it's just printed on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like embedded on there. You know what I mean? If you can see the grain in the leather, you know that that's not some scratch off, stickery type stuff. So Dame 9. Any reactions from the OG? This is the last one for Kicks on Court show and tell as well. Bait.
Winner, winner, chicken
Boom.
dinner. Again, we talk about bait. Again, they're all about the details, all about quality when it comes to collaborations. And you may not like all of the collaborations they've done over the years, but you gotta respect it. And that's yet another respectable collab. Not saying they made something out of nothing, but you talking about throwing that extra seasoning to make that thing right. that's exactly what Babe did to that colorway and that model, man. So, and they again, they're not new to this; they true to this. So it's not the first time they collab with the Dame shoe, and they keep it rolling. So that Dame 9 looks absolutely awesome. And again, calling back our last season, sneaker boxes matter. Shoe boxes matter to us, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school, so it's always be a shoe box to me. Sneaker box to other folks, they matter. So I definitely appreciate the bait print and you know once you have that stacked somewhere or you buy what it is. And again, it's the details that Bape has always been about, even at that peak and even now, and seeing them just being consistent as they have been. It's absolutely phenomenal to see. But seeing another Dame Babe collection, I'm all for it.
Yeah. So, just to put a pin in this particular episode, again, it's just the beginning of the season. There's more action. We're going to see some new James Hardens. We're going to see, Jason Tatum has rolled out his new shoe. We've already had some previous commentary on Jaylen Brown. Well, now he has his own brand, the 741 brand. He has his own shoe, the Velocity Racer, if I'm not mistaken, what it's called. And just seeing what the retail rollout looks like. Because you can do some pre-order action, but see what that rollout looks like for Jaylen Brown. He's balling too. All right, and then you just never know. Well, what else is happening in between? We got our friends over at the Curry brand. De'Aaron Fox has a new signature this year, and he's already balling out. So we're already looking at a potential all-star to see what's going on. So we can't wait to get through the holidays, see what kicks are going to show up for Christmas Day. That's always a tradition to see what brands come up with some themed colorways. And then next stop, All-Star Weekend. All right. So, can't wait to see what's going on. New colorways, new signature models. John Morant has, the Ja 2. He's healthier this year, so he's already hit a couple posters in the new shoes. You know what I mean? So again, we just wish everyone health and being able to perform in their shoes. And really, that's how those moments really get created. Is not only is the style, not only the performance, but you actually have to do it on the court, all right, and then consistently produce. So that's the final word from the Shark. All right, as we wrap up this NBA Kicks on Court episode from the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for, the channel you cheer for. Give me that sneaker business talk and clarity over popularity. So for this episode, signing off, it's T Mark the Street Shark.
And your man, the OGEO. Until next time, peace to you.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.